When you tour, do you like mix up the set list? Do you kind of change it as you go, or do you kind of ride with one thing for a stretch?
A little of both. Okay. Especially in the beginning of a tour, you want to write out a set list and get comfortable with it. Then you can sort of gauge how it's working, because you want it to be, you want to start out with a bang, and then you need it to slow down a little towards the middle, and then you want to end up on a bang too. So it's an art to try to come up with a set list that works. Mm-hmm. And like I said in the beginning, you're trying things out, trying to find the right one. Eventually, you'll find one that works great.
Yeah. And
you'll stick with that for a while. But then I get bored. I don't want to do the same thing every night. My plan on this coming tour is we'll throw in some Badlands. I'm asking the band to learn at least half a dozen Badlands songs, and then we can sprinkle in different ones on the night.
Is there any chance Silver Horses is one of them?
Huh. I hadn't thought of that.
Okay, well that'd be a no. I would that. Well, I as a the more diehard fans, we dig deep into the catalog. But my lord, I would probably be erect for a week if I saw you play Silver Horses.
I don't know if that makes me want to do it more or less.
That's my job, make people uncomfortable.
But no, I you know what, I will. I'll consider that. I'll try to find an old record or tape and listen to it, since I can't iTunes it. But
you want me to send you my CDs?
But 3 Day Funk is a forerunner.
Right on.
Right now, and I'm trying to think of which songs Darren will sound really good on. Although so far he sounds pretty good on the Badlands tunes.
He seems to have kind of grown a little bit as a singer too from the first record.
Yeah, well, on the first record, because of the production, he was, and I didn't know this until after, because I'm not in the studio usually. Yeah. I was with Sass Jordan because she's special, but
sure.
I'm not usually in the studio when the vocals are happening, because it drives me crazy listening to somebody sing a song over and over and over and over. I'll just listen to it at the end of the day. I'll listen to the takes that were done. And it did strike me when we started touring. It struck me as his natural voice is not the voice that's on the first Red Dragon Cartel. And when I asked him about it, he told me that he was pushed to scream more for the first record. He was to make it, I don't know, maybe more modern rock sounding.
Yeah.
I don't know what the reasoning was. But yeah, his natural voice is not exactly what is on the first Red Dragon Cartel record. And you can tell he's pushing it on that. And I think he sounds 100 times better on the new record. What was the original? Oh, it was about Badlands. I think he does Badlands really well.
Cool.
Anybody who gave him a chance on the last tour, which there wasn't that many people that were doing that for him after the infamous whiskey show.
Sure, and the Metal Sludge got on your ass for that too. Yeah, like the guy couldn't have one bad show.
Yeah, well, it had to be the first one.
Yeah, of course.
But he sang "In a Dream," which is a pure Ray song, and he did really good on it. And I felt like a lot of people just didn't give him a second chance, and hopefully with this record they will, because he really is a fantastic singer. And anyway, back to the set list. Yeah, we're going to be doing Badlands songs. I'm hoping to change those up, and on the night that we play, just off the cuff, let's do this Badlands song.
Yeah, okay.
That I'm not planning on doing any more Ozzy songs live.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a shocker.
Well,
you got enough material. I think people will be okay with it. But boy, Bark. I'll tell you this: "Bark at the Moon" is one of those songs that I've heard just a shit ton of my life that I don't get sick of. Just that opening riff and the way you play that.
On the first tour, we had to dig deep because
you were kind of reestablishing Jakey Lee being back on planet Earth almost.
And just the fact that there were so many different singers, 2 of them being women on the first record, and the production style, being able to recreate that live. We could only do maybe half the record live.
Okay.
So I had to come up with a back catalog to fill up the rest of the set. And I hadn't played Ozzy in 30 years, so it was kind of fun at first, but to be honest, after a while, it didn't feel right. The songs, even though I was the guitar player and the writer of the songs, it felt it just didn't. They're Ozzy songs. They belong to Ozzy, and I'm not Ozzy. And it never. After the initial, having fun playing these old songs that I hadn't played, it felt dishonest. It didn't feel right to me, and that's why I'm not going to do them anymore. And I would, if it's with Ozzy. If Ozzy shows up in one of the clubs I'm playing in, and he wants to sing Dark Moon, I will be the first one to greet him on stage.
What if he knocks on your hotel room at 3 a.m. and says, "Jake, let's play some tunes"? You gonna do it then?
Yeah. Yes, I will.
Ozzy, you have your invitation. Jake, I gotta let you go at some point here. I kid you not. You were one of my idols growing up. This is a huge thrill for me. I'm glad you were so sharing and just really interesting to talk to. I really appreciate it. I know the people listening to this are going to love it. Good luck with the album. I think people are going to like it. The more they listen to it, the more they're going to get into it. That's been my experience so far, and I've only had about a week to dig into it. And definitely good luck with the tour. If you come through Minnesota, you're probably going to run into me.
Well, I hope so. If, we're going to be in Minnesota.
Yeah, hopefully in the summertime. Now, one of the worst questions anybody can ask a band or a musician is, are you coming to my town? Look, especially in this day of the internet, when it happens, you'll find out. The bands typically don't have a whole lot of control over that, people, so leave them alone. Yeah.
No, that is true. And I've been reading online, like, why do you hate this town so much? Or, it's not up to the band, and booking is a hard thing to do. You got to line up the dots. It's got to be on a night where nobody else is playing, and you have to get not to be hungry for money, but you have to make enough where you can at least break even on the road. If you're not getting offered enough money and somebody else is offering you more, you have to take the more money, because it's real, especially in this day and age.
Yeah,
it's hard to make money on the road enough to break even, at least,
Well, fortunately, I think your target audience is glad to have people they grew up with still making music, and I do think your record will do pretty good because of that. Yeah,
it'll do what it does, but I just hope people give it a chance. Give it a listen. Give it several listens so it can sink in,
Thank you for coming on the program. You've been a wonderful guest. All the best with everything. Any last words?
No.
Right on.
I can't think of anything. We talked about a lot of shit.
Yeah, no, you pretty much covered it all. I'm sorry I kept you so long, but boy, I probably only tapped a little bit of what I really wanted to talk about. I've followed your entire career. But again, thank you so much. And thanks to your wife for being so pleasant to me while you were relieving yourself.
Oh, no, she's a wonderful wife. Did I say that loud enough so she could hear?
I think so.
Yes, I did. She's laughing. Great.
All right.
Thank you, Vaco.
All right, you have a good evening.
All right, good night.